The deep, crushing pressure of the South China Sea doesn't just destroy ships.
It preserves secrets.
Wood collapses, iron bends, flesh disappears.
But intent survives.
And in 1997, off the coast of Thailand, fishermen pulled one of those intentions back into the light. Not gold, not jewels, not crowns or relics of kings, but tons of perfectly preserved silver coins, stacked, sealed, frozen in time.
This wasn't treasure.
It was evidence. Evidence of a decision so vast, so confident, that it reshaped the global economy and then destroyed one of the greatest civilizations on Earth. Evidence of what happens when a state hands control of its entire economic bloodstream to a single commodity it does not control.
And once you understand what happened to the Ming Dynasty,
you will start to recognize the same fault lines running through your own financial world today.
At first, the wreck made no sense.
A Spanish galleon,
Sunk in Asian waters.
its hull burdened with silver minted in the Americas. This silver wasn't meant for Europe. It was never meant to sit in royal treasuries or be melted into cathedral ceilings. It was headed east,
Across the Pacific.
to China, specifically to the Ming Dynasty, the most advanced, populous, and administratively sophisticated economy on Earth in the 16th century.
This shipwreck is not an archaeological curiosity.
It is a financial receipt, a frozen transaction, a ledger entry locked beneath the sea, proof of how the first truly global economy was built and how it failed. At its height, the Ming Dynasty appeared unassailable. Its bureaucracy was disciplined and hierarchical. Its civil service exams produced scholar officials unmatched anywhere in the world. Its cities dwarfed European capitals. Its canals moved food, people, and information with mechanical precision. Hundreds of millions were fed. Borders were defended. Order was maintained. But beneath that stability was a decision so subtle it barely registered as a risk. The Ming state tied its entire tax system, and by extension its entire economy, to silver.
Not partially.
Not symbolically. Totally. Soldiers were paid in silver. Taxes were collected in silver. Debts were settled in silver. Land was valued in silver. Grain prices floated against silver. State legitimacy itself was anchored to one physical substance. Think about that level of dependency. Your ability to eat. Your ability to defend the country. Your ability to participate in society. All dependent on uninterrupted access to a single metal. And here is the fatal detail. The silver did not come from China. It came from a mountain half a world away. Cerro Rico, the rich hill, in present-day Bolivia. A barren scar carved into the Andes. A mountain that bled endlessly. A wound in the earth that consumed millions of indigenous and enslaved laborers. Men worked until their lungs collapsed. Children carried ore until their bodies failed. Entire cultures were erased to keep the silver flowing. This mountain did more than enrich Spain. It rewired the plate. Spain mined the silver, minted it into standardized coins, shipped it across the Pacific aboard the Manila galleons. These ships were not just vessels.
They were arteries.
Floating supply lines pumping silver east and luxury goods west. Silver flowed into China. Silk, porcelain, and tea flowed out. Europe grew rich. China stabilized its currency. Spain financed wars, palaces, and an empire that spanned continents. For decades, it worked. And that success created a dangerous illusion. It felt permanent. This was the first truly globalized economy, and the first globalized delusion of security. The Ming state assumed the flow would never stop. This is what historians rarely name directly, but what destroys systems again and again. The permanence delusion. The belief that a structure which has worked for decades must continue forever. But here was the flaw, buried at the center of the system. The Ming did not control the mines, the labor, the ships, the sea lanes, the political stability of foreign empires. They had outsourced their monetary sovereignty. Their economy depended on foreign kings, foreign miners, foreign fleets, and fragile oceans. When piracy increased, when European wars disrupted shipping, when Spanish priorities shifted, when mines began to exhaust, the silver slowed. And when silver slowed, everything else froze. Taxes could not be paid. Officials could not collect revenue. Soldiers went unpaid. Garrisons weakened. Grain prices spiked as silver became scarce. Deflation crushed farmers. Markets seized up. Then came inflation. Chaotic, uneven, destructive. Famine followed. Banditry followed. Rebellion followed. The Ming state did not collapse because it lacked wealth. It collapsed because its wealth was externally controlled. But the story goes deeper. Before silver, the Ming tried something radical. Paper money. In the early 15th century, the Hongwu Emperor launched the world's first large-scale state-issued paper currency. It was revolutionary. No heavy metal. No mining. No shipping. At first, it worked. Trade expanded. Taxes flowed. The state gained flexibility. Then came war. Then came deficits. Then came temptation. Money was printed to fund armies, printed to cover shortfalls, printed faster than economic growth. The result was inevitable. Hyperinflation. Trust collapsed. Paper became worthless. People fled back to silver, not because it was perfect, but because it was scarce. This is where history stops being distant. Look at modern fiat currencies. Unbacked. Debt-funded. Sustained by trust alone. Quantitative easing. Exploding national debt. Permanent emergency policies. Purchasing power erodes quietly, invisibly, year after year. The mechanism is identical. Today's silver is no longer metal. It is digital infrastructure, server farms, payment rails, clearing systems, blockchains, central bank digital currencies. We are told it is efficient, secure, inevitable. The Ming were told the same thing, just in different words. The lesson is not that silver was evil, or paper was a mistake, or digital money is doomed. The lesson is deeper. Any system that removes checks, transparency, and individual agency will repeat the same cycle. Dependency, concentration, fragility, betrayal. The sunken galleon is not treasure. It is a warning. And your financial security has always been the prize. In this ancient repeating game,